Mangione, and we're going to be talking about that. I am going to dial back. This is going to be the first day where I will not be doing Italiophobia. Normally, as you guys know, this is unlimited Italiophobia in the broadcast. This is the first day where there will be no Italiophobia on this broadcast. We will ban you if you engage. This is no Fredophobia. No Fredo. No using the term Fredo. I can use it because I'm Italian spiritually, but you can't. Okay? God, you guys are already blasting me with like all the insane that this dude has said, including demanding that Japan ban pocket. That's crazy. This guy had a lot of weird opinions. What is this? Be careful lifting weights. Might lead to an injury, then lead to, you know, showing up in New York City with a blinky. Okay, dude, calm down. There's a couple steps in between me getting injured and having my healthcare coverage denied into taking direct action that is violent. And we, of course, as you guys know, do not condone. We condemn. We condemn. Not even once. No, especially now that I know he's Italian, it's so much easier for me to condemn. Okay? So much easier. Crime is bad. We do not like crime around these parts. We hate crime. Okay, check out his Goodreads. He read JD Vance. I know. There are some discoveries coming out of the shooter, and now that he has been apprehended, it seems. And I will be talking about that. I do find it very. I mean, I don't find it odd, and I do find it a little bit concerning that political violence is almost so universally done by the right that, like, even when you got kills a CEO, he has a lot of right-wing associations. Like, it's crazy. What is going on? Even labor militancy is only being done by right-wingers, I think. Okay, this dude has an insane background. But before we get started, his name is Luigi Mangione. That's right. The person of interest that is under arrest for the United Healthcare CEO shooting is Luigi Mangione. Okay, he is out of his mind, yacked in the gills, yacked to the goddamn gills. Incredibly Italian, and I mean, 10% body fat percentage. Like, that's great eyebrows, very powerful. I think that's literally what got him caught. High key, it seems like the eyebrows is what those goddamn Italian caterpillars right there is probably what got him caught. Because honestly, people that have been in a 10-mile radius at this moment are like, oh, dude, that's the eyebrow guy. So the moment that they saw those eyebrows in that taxi cab, people were like, everyone in Pennsylvania was alerted to this presence. Okay, yeah, this motherfucker shaved his eyebrows, and I guess that would have been hard, but that would have been hard for him to stay undercover with the shaved eyebrows. What are his right-wing associations? I didn't see anything wrong with what he's posted. He's like a Peter Thiel fan. He doesn't like Jordan Peterson from what I've seen, and we'll dive further into it. But like, I think he likes Lex Friedman. He's like a right-wing podcast bro, and kind of. What is this? This is the greatest day of my life. Wait, what? That's Luigi Mangione. This person just posted. Wait, did he attend their wedding or something? He has Mein Kampf on his Goodreads. I don't know about the Goodreads stuff, but we'll see. So funny that half the CEO killer's timeline is just retweeting this guy. It's really interesting. People are trying to figure out why he was at the most recent Pokemon Worlds in Hawaii, since it says he lived there. He follows AOC and Ezra Klein, but he also follows like I'm gonna get into it. He follows a lot of like right-wing CEOs too. It's very interesting. Oh shit, the shelf is private now. They privatized it. No! Log everything and send it to me, all right? What is this? No, one of my fishies got sucked into the filter. This guy can't catch a break. I do think that Paul Scalas being a Lindy man most likely is the reason why this dude did the damn thing, by the way. What is this? He follows the last rated book I saw was the Lorax. You are now turning on him because he's Italian. Listen, dude, listen. He is exactly the type of motherfucker that like loves Elon but hates healthcare CEOs. Okay, I need you to understand. Like, it is kind of hilarious that it's just like God. There's so much to talk about. We'll do his reading list. We'll do his Goodreads. Okay, we'll do his Goodreads that's now privated. He obviously reviewed the Unabomber book, classic. Okay. He's got a good bit on Kurt Vonnegut, Slaughterhouse-Five. So that's like, he's all over the place politically. Okay. Which is so American. And I need you to understand this. It is the most American to be politically all over the map. No one has a well thought out, consistent, clear-eyed, ideological perspective. But what's even more interesting for me, okay, is the fact that this guy who read Atlas Shrugged who has Atlas Shrugged on his must read, like potentially want to read books, okay, and he's a Lindy man, and is literally a Lindy man, is all over the map politically and is reposting Peter Thiel. When I first saw his account, I was like, there is no goddamn way. He's an Andrew Huberman fan. He's retweeting Peter Thiel posts, talking about AI. He follows Sam Altman. Okay. When I logged it, as soon as the name came out, he had like 300 followers or something. And since then, he has gone up, by thousands, 74,000 followers. And I find it very odd, but also very American. Here he is, Lex Friedman. It's amazing how caffeine really is the only drug that has achieved this level of social acceptance. Okay. He likes reading books. He's a tech guy. Like these are some of the things that we have figured out. He was a HasanAbi head. Top of the hour Dankies. Yeah, he's not a HasanAbi head. Okay, calm down. That's not a real tweet. American politics is so schizophrenic as always. Okay, always. Never forget that. It's just like it's a very common thing that happens all the time. You will never be able to immediately clock and identify a person's political associations, especially one that even takes like direct action. Okay, but here it is. Luigi Mangione's review, Industrial Society and Its Future. Okay, actually, you know what? Let's get started on like the regular media coverage first, but and then I'll dive into his background. Okay, but before I do that, I just wanted to play this song for you.
Si andrà a guardare un video e poi giù 3 ore commentarlo sul suo.
This is a Italiaphobia free space. Why are we listening to this respectfully? Because the name of the United Healthcare CEO shooter is Luigi Mangione. That's right. He is the person of interest, Luigi Mangione, who is under arrest for the United Healthcare CEO assassination. Ladies and gentlemen, here it is. Let's take a look at the special report from ABC News.
Hi, I'm Diane Macedo. We are coming on the air because multiple law enforcement officials say a person of interest is now
Mamma mia!
being questioned in the New York City murder of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. They say he's identified as 26-year-old Luigi Mangione. Here's New York City Mayor Eric Adams with an update.
Thompson of United Healthcare was the victim of a senseless act of violence. Our officers have been working around the clock. Many of them did not go home to pursue this individual. It was crucial that we were able to remove him off the streets of America, and we were going to seek.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I felt really unsafe. Gioforio, thank you for the 5 gifted subs, my friend. Gioforio. The Italians are on a come up big time. Do you understand? Oh, I thought he replied to this or something. Why mafia isn't a aesthetic, a thread. I cook the pizza. Go yourself for real. I can't with these people anymore. I hate you all from the bottom of my heart. Ignorant pieces of shit. I cook the meatball. Hey, passa the linguini. It's a mia Mario. Mamma mia. Please check in on Mario, please. Yeah.
Him out, no matter where he was at the time. And so this is a strong person of interest. The police commissioner and
he's strong, all right. He's right. He's strong.
We'll go over where we are right now in the investigation. He matches the description of the identification we've been looking for. He's also in possession of several items that we believe will connect him to this incident. How did we do it? Good old-fashioned police work. The chief of detectives and the police commissioner made the decision to release as much of a photo that we had at the time. We sent it across the country, and someone, a McDonald's employee, did something we ask every American to do. If you see something, say something, but most importantly, do something. And they did. And because of that, we believe we have a strong person of interest to deal with this case. I want to now turn it over to the Police Commissioner of the City of New York, Commissioner Tisch.
I think it's really up that they revealed this guy. I'm gonna be honest. I don't give a how, but listen. BDS is he went to Starbucks first, got nabbed there, then he got caught at a McDonald's in Allentown. Okay, BDS would have saved him. BDS would have saved him. He's a dumb who used the same fake ID. Okay, Central Committee, like, just because this man is not ideologically aligned with someone like myself or someone like yourself, it doesn't mean you have to be so mean to him, okay? And I know it's partially because you hate Italians, okay? And I understand that. I understand that it's freightophobia that you are exhibiting. But let's just work through it. Let's try to get a better understanding of what motivated this man to behave in the ways that he did. Oh, not Allentown, Altoona. Do not get my beloved Toontown names mistaken. First of all, Pennsylvania is such a fake-ass state that there's not one but two different tune-related places. Like, what kind of Looney Tunes nonsense is happening over there? Y'all don't have better names? My bad.
Thank you, Mayor. Good afternoon, everyone. Earlier this morning in Altoona, Pennsylvania, members of the Altoona Police Department arrested Luigi Mangione, a 26-year-old male, on firearms charges. At this time, he is believed to be our person of interest in the brazen targeted murder of Brian Thompson, CEO of United Healthcare, last Wednesday in Midtown Manhattan. The suspect was in a McDonald's and was recognized by an employee who then called local police. Responding officers questioned the suspect, who was acting.
This is what Altoona is famous for.
There is pizza, and then there is pizza.
Altoona Sicilian is what Altoona Hotel Pizza was like back.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. This is probably the radicalizing principle, dude. This is like, if I'm an Italian man and I find out that this is what they've done to my most significant cultural artifact, I'm gonna lose it too. Oh my God! What the is this, bro? What the hell are they doing in Altoona? Hey, yo, look at this. What? This reminds me of George W. Bush's favorite meal, which was, I think, a pizza cheeseburger, like a cheeseburger pizza. That's what he used to eat every night. George W. Bush ate like a child. And I feel like this is the version of that.
For customers at 29th Street Pizza Subs and more.
And it has yellow cheese on it we put Genoa salami underneath with green peppers. And it's done very well for us.
And customers from Brooklyn, New York agree.
It's the best pizza from here.
Oh my God. Okay. All right. What the are we doing? Yeah. Elon Musk has been taking his son out as a little human shield nonstop since the CEO assassination. Is pretty funny. Like, he has literally been in public only with his son since that CEO assassination. He's like, hey guys, I just want to remind you that I am a human being. I am a father. I'm a human being. Please just remember. Don't look at his Goodreads list. No, I will be looking at his Goodreads list. But look at this tuna McDonald's that he got popped at.
Suspiciously, and was carrying multiple fraudulent IDs as well as a U.S. passport. Upon further investigation, officers recovered a firearm on his person as well as a suppressor, both consistent with the...
Wait, this motherfucker was literally carrying that on? He didn't dump it? Bro, you can learn anything online, okay? You can literally learn anything online. I saw a video of like the Syrian rebels that were watching a YouTube tutorial on how to fly a helicopter sitting inside of the cockpit of the helicopter, okay? And now I'm beginning to realize that this guy was not a professional at all and just simply watched a YouTube video on how to carry out a assassination, because he should have watched more YouTube videos on how to, I don't know, hide the evidence. Why the yeah, I hate to do Monday morning quarterbacking here, but like the way he carried it out was pretty smooth. And then he turns around and he's like, yeah, I'm going to go to Altoona. By the time you get to Altoona, you could drop the gun anywhere at that point. You know what I mean? Oh, the mic is breaking again. I'm getting federal authorities are cooking my microphone. By the time you get to Altoona, you have already left. You have already left the state. Okay, make it the law enforcement. Make it law enforcement the problem of law enforcement later down the line when someone is doing magnet fishing. You know what I mean? How the do you keep that with you? Was he gonna go and kill other CEOs or something? What was he doing? Get the eyebrows threaded. You know, maybe shave it down a little bit. Do something. How can a leftist argue for pollution? Okay, man. Sometimes it's, sometimes you got to ditch the assassination weapon, okay? Dude thought he would get laid if he showed proof. This motherfucker doesn't need to get more, okay? What are you, crazy? Have you seen the way he looks? Like, I do not think, turns out a mutual friend of mine, oh, this is from the Prospect, Luke Coldstein, says, turns out a mutual friend of mine went to high school with Mangione and was on the wrestling team with him, says he was a class valedictorian. He had back surgery a few months ago and went missing. No one had heard from him. Oh my God. Well, now we know what the motive is, it seems. He's an incel though? No, I've seen him with like a lot of ladies, dude. I don't think he was an incel. I don't know. I mean, he might have been, we'll see. I'll dive into his background a little bit more because like looking at the podcast consumption that he has. Oh, that's his sister? Okay. Well, looking at the podcast consumption, I could see him being like, it seems like he was like incel adjacent on a lot of the podcasts that he was consuming, but like I don't know if I don't think this guy's an incel. I think maybe like a men's right activist lightly, but I don't think he's an incel at all. But once again, do not try to understand the mind of someone who is a political operative in the United States of America. Wait, what? Who said his nipples are sharp? You need to be banned. Avid reader of 295 books listed on Goodreads. Academically, he holds a master's and bachelor's degree in computer science from the University of Pennsylvania. Additionally, he gained recognition as a valedictorian at Gilman School in Baltimore, showcasing his academic excellence. His work includes contributions to machine learning and robotics, as evidenced by projects on GitHub. It makes sense. He was like a stem cell. He was like a jacked stem cell. So yeah, it makes sense why he would find himself captivated by when you have no humanities. When you have no formal humanities education, you find yourself in the throes of radicalization by the likes of Andrew Huberman and shit, and all of a sudden become like kind of stem cell adjacent. Yeah, here is a very famous tweet that we have to point to. He literally quote retweeted Elon Musk's favorite neo-Nazi here. Immigration won't solve anything. It's maybe a short-term solution at best. Japan will be fine as long as it stays Japanese. This guy says, I am yes, you are no. He is a famous neo-Nazi online, Elon Musk's favorite neo-Nazi, as a matter of fact. He quote retweets him and says, modern Japanese urban environment is an evolutionary mismatch for the human animal. The solution to failing birth rates isn't immigration, it's cultural. Encourage natural human interaction, sex, physical fitness, and spirituality. Ban Tenga fleshlights and Japan real whole custom porn star pocket pussies being sold in Don Quixote grocery stores. Yeah, that's going to fix the problem, man. You're definitely right. Yeah, it's because the Japanese are too vociferously... They're ravaging these sex toys that you can purchase at Don Quixote. And you know he's a weeb too, because he knows what Don Quixote is. If you know what Don Quixote is, you're a goddamn weeb. You're a taku. Replace conveyor belt sushi restaurants, vending machine ordering with actual human interaction with a waiter. I'm willing to bet that there is classic dumbass otaku that doesn't even understand Japanese culture, especially because human interaction is so... There's so much need for human interaction that like a big part of Japanese nightlife industry revolves around people that basically give that human interaction to you while you're engaging in social drinking, even if you are alone. Okay. So it's not the fact that there's too many conveyor belt sushi and restaurant vending machines. Dumbass. Replace 24/7 esports cafes with young males. Earn false fitness signals via Tekken fighting and Overwatch shooting games with athletics in school. Heavily stigmatized maid cafes where lonely salarymen pay young girls to dress in anime characters and perform anime dances for them. Revitalize traditional Japanese culture, Shintoism, Okinawan karate, onsen, etc. Bro, you got so heated that he doesn't understand Japan. That's one of your weebest moments. Yeah, he like I love talking about the Japanese birth rates, okay, without addressing Japanese work culture, capitalism, and also the tendency of developed nations across the board to run into this trap regardless, especially if they don't engage in any sort of migration. Like, this is what happens when you are a stem cell with no understanding, no political acumen whatsoever. But I digress. This is important to understand and acknowledge that the issue of healthcare is a unifying principle, is a unifying problem. This is why it is not surprising that this person is not like a card-carrying commie leftist. Okay? 2 reasons for why it's not shocking to me that he is not a card-carrying leftist or whatever, but instead is this like indecipherable kind of right-wing guy. Okay? 1, he's a stem cell. Okay? No understanding of humanities, probably assumes that humanities are bad. Okay? The right dominates the space for political violence. They just dominate it. They own it. They dominate it. The right is so used to doing political violence that when you look at 2 of the Trump attempted assassins, Ryan Ruth, the #1 NATO defender, the one NATO voter, Ryan Ruth, and the other guy whose name I forgot, the one that shot at Trump and popped him in the ear. One was a registered Republican. The other one had voted for Donald Trump. Ryan Ruth had literally voted for Donald Trump. So, like, obviously, Thomas Matthew Crooks. Yeah, that's his name. So, I feel as though the right is so used to the political violence and owning that space that they just kind of do violence to themselves. Can tell you that not a single person who went to Gilman is a leftist? I mean, it doesn't have to be. He doesn't have to be a leftist at all. It doesn't matter. This reaffirms my position. Okay? This is my point. My point is, this is not a left-right issue, okay? This is definitely a class issue, and it certainly impacts even rich people from rich families. I've talked about this before. When I was broke and I worked at the Young Turks, I had health care. I had health care that was given to me by the company that I was paying for, right? And the patchwork solution to losing my job and to moving on to full-time streaming as a career, the patchwork solution in that process was for me to be able to retain my health care but pay for the entire premiums under what is known as COBRA. Okay? That is the Democratic Party's patchwork solution to the healthcare problem, is that, at a time of financial uncertainty, we are giving you the opportunity to pay for the entirety of the premium that your work was paying for. So all of a sudden, I was paying like $600 a month when I didn't make that much money. It's insane. But another thing that I also found out in this process, once my COBRA expired and I had to get my own healthcare personally, self-employed healthcare, was the reality that while my financial situation had dramatically improved, okay, at that point when I was looking for healthcare, even if you have money in this country, healthcare is still, you can't even buy like the appropriate full tilt coverage as a person, as an individual, because the way that this process works is like you have to start a corporation and you have to literally get corporate healthcare. The premium healthcare is not given to you as a singular individual. It's crazy. So even if you have the money to pay for healthcare, they still do not give you the healthcare, at least in the state of California. So obviously, regardless of the fact that this kid probably comes from a relatively well-off family, he went to a private school in Baltimore, he still got over by American healthcare. Yeah, his brother is seemingly a Republican politician in Maryland. Look, there's a very sad story here. Turns out a mutual of mine that went to high school with Mangione and was on the wrestling team with him says he was class valedictorian. Hey, are you okay? Nobody has heard from you in months, and apparently your family's looking for you. Thinking of you in prayers every day in your name. Know you are missed and loved. Hey, man, I need you to call me. I don't know if you are okay or just in a super isolated place and have no service, but I haven't heard from you in months. You made commitments to me on my wedding. Make commitments to me for my wedding, and if you can't honor them, I need to know so I can plan accordingly. Like I think he had to get back surgery and just like fell off the map. His Twitter account, I think this might have been his cousin or something, but His Twitter account literally has his Twitter header literally has spinal surgery x-rays. Luigi Mangioni's Twitter header has this x-rayed as Goodreads has these books. He must have gone through some kind of personal hell with insurance. Crooked, outwitting the back pain industry and getting on the road to recovery. Back Mechanic by Dr. Stuart McGill. He gave it a 2 stars. Crooked, outwitting the back pain industry and getting on the road to recovery. He didn't like that book. I guess he didn't like the book because it said it didn't tell him at any point that the way to outwit the healthcare industry is by taking matters into your own hands. That's why he gave it 2 stars. Where he was like, yeah, no, I am not. He was not a fan of the book. All jokes aside, this is a real moment of radicalization for a lot of Americans. Yeah. Mohammed says, Jim bro who's mad at insurance for how they're covering his injuries. I get it. Yeah, this is if you guys recall, when I first went back on my fitness journey, once the pandemic lockdown restrictions were lifted and I went back to working out, I had a shit ton of injuries because I had not moved my body enough. I was, not eating enough protein. Multitude of different factors at play here. But I recall going to the doctor for a slip disc, and I was very frustrated, not with the healthcare coverage in that situation, because like I am fortunate enough to be able to afford such things without even thinking about it at this point. But if you remember, I went to the doctor, and one of the things that was incredibly frustrating, and now I don't have this back pain anymore, thank God, but one of the things that was incredibly frustrating was like the tendency of a lot of medical staff to, instead of subscribing physical therapy, they were just trying to medicate me. I am obviously pro modern medicine, as you guys know. This is something that I am not like an RFK Jr. type of person. But one thing, oh, did I say subscribing? Sorry, prescribing. But you should subscribe for $6 or for free with a Twitch Prime, or you can get gifted a sub as well. Okay. But one thing that I personally experienced that I found to be very frustrating is that like prescribing pain relief medication when you have a injury is not addressing the like major cause of that dysfunction. Okay. And this is something that I talked about at that point as well. This isn't to say that like all pain relief is bad, and I'm not saying that at all. I think there's a time and place for that, for sure. There's chronic pain. I totally understand that. But I think the tendency, even, and this is not even like insurance related, even though insurance factors into this equation a little bit, but the tendency to overprescribe pain relief medication rather than try to address the problem and take this more complicated approach that requires you to identify where the muscular imbalance is and identify why you have injured yourself and try to fix it. Like that is a long and convoluted process. So I think that's part of the reason why people are way more, people just immediately go, yeah, just take this pain medication and just like rest it and it's fine. Also, thank you, Zylax, for the 50 community gift of subs. This is frustrating. Every aspect of medicine in this country still, at a certain point, revolves around the profit motive. Okay? It is something that does not make sense. Even if you've taken an Econ 101 course, you understand that medicine, pharmaceuticals, and any sort of like medicine in general, any sort of medical help in general, has inelastic demand. If you don't get it, you die. So you have to get it, right? So the very fact that we still use this as an opportunity to generate profits is insane to me. And I think that's part of the reason why a lot of people have distaste and distrust for healthcare in this country. And that's why you got the likes of RFK Jr. and so many like anti-vaccine people in America that have this kind of attitude, because they see the issue with for-profit healthcare. They recognize the issue with for-profit pharmaceuticals, and it breaks their brains. And instead of recognizing that the solution to this problem is by taking the profit motive out of this, equation. A lot of people just end up, making up their own minds about this and despising healthcare and despising medicine even. It's a much larger problem. But I think the important part of this, the important hinge point here to address is that profit is slammed into this sector, in every orifice of the sector that should not have anything to do with profit at all. And every single person has a story like the one I just told you. Every single person, because at a certain point you needed healthcare, okay? Unless you're like one of the most fortunate people on the planet, you still needed healthcare at a certain point. And when you got it, you were shocked at the bill. When you got it, you were shocked at the process where this healthcare that you paid for or that your parents paid for you over. And they denied your claims. We live in a country where there is a concept of medical bankruptcy. Europeans cannot comprehend that. They're like, what do you mean medical bankruptcy? That is an insane process. And yet it is a very real process. It's a pretty position overall. What is this? What is my attorney doing, dog? What is my attorney posting? Let's not do infighting. Okay? At a moment of division, I don't like that. I think in these unifying times, I see no reason to pit fellow gym bros against one another. Shaking my head. You're mad he's hotter than you? I'm not mad about that at all. But he is hotter than me. That's true. My health insurance story, I specifically went into the Anthem website to find an in-network provider for an annual checkup. I go to the place. They inform me that at some point between making the appointment and the actual appointment date, their in-network negotiations fell through and they're no longer in-network. Yet I was never notified and had to pay out of pocket for that visit. Ew, no, he's not. No, he's very hot. I think you guys are crazy. I wish we could get him on this. I wish we could get him on the broadcast. No, we can't. I got electrocuted at work. Company denied my claim. Still injured. Couldn't work. I lose my insurance because I'm not working. So my job starts offering me insurance. Lol, I got my health insurance taken because I got injured. Cobra was like $660 a month and to be paid with no income amount. Exactly. This is unsustainable. And anyone that tries to tell you that this is like a perfectly valid, perfectly sustainable system is insane. Also, what else? You want to know what else is insane? This deficit hawking at the age of 12. Luigi Mangione likes obstacle to deficit cutting, a nation on entitlements. This is exactly the type of dude I need to reach out to pull them from the throes of weirdo politics, okay? This is why I do what I do. Do you understand? This man is posting Wall Street Journal articles about deficit cutting and the obstacles to deficit cutting and entitlements. But that's from 2010 when he was like, what, 12? I suspect that he's changed his mindset since then. He was 12 years old. What a goddamn nerd. Holy shit. This guy was definitely watching the Feminist Owns compilations. Yeah. All right. Let's continue. Let's continue with this broad sweeping coverage here.
Weapon used in the murder. They also recovered clothing, including a mask consistent with those worn by our wanted individual. Also recovered was a fraudulent New Jersey ID, matching the ID our suspect used to check into his New York City hostel before the shooting incident. Additionally, officers recovered a handwritten document that speaks to both his motivation and mindset. NYPD detectives are en route to Pennsylvania as we seek to interview the subject further. This apprehension is thanks to the tireless work of the greatest detectives in the world, and of course, the strong relationships we have with our local law enforcement partners on every level. Local, state, and federal, we all serve the same public safety mission. And this case, which captured the attention of an entire nation, is another example of how connected we are and how important it is to work together, share information, and pursue every lead.
I think the best part is that the guy was far from a recluse, yet not a single soul who knew him came forward to the authorities. Apparently, they probably recognized him immediately and were just like, I ain't giving up. Hey, do your job, okay? If you want to find him that bad, maybe figure it out, okay? But I'm not helping you.
For just over 5 days, our NYPD investigators combed through thousands of...
Yeah, the attention that the nation gave to this story is not the type of attention that she thinks is good. I will say, I don't think it was a positive. They had a positive association with him, not the victim.
Hours of video, followed up on hundreds of tips, and processed every bit of forensic evidence, DNA, fingerprints, IP addresses, and so much more to tighten the net. We deployed drones, canine units, and scuba divers. We leveraged the domain awareness system, Argus cameras.
I love this like back patting that like all of these institutions always do after like some random McDonald's employees. Like, I recognize those eyebrows. He's being kind of sus. Like, it literally is always like, we did so much. Yeah, it amounted to nothing. Like, you did so much with your domain awareness system, and the only thing, the thing that got him caught was the fact that he didn't follow BDS. He should not have gone to the McDonald's in what is it, Toontown, Looney Tunes Town, whatever, Pennsylvania. Okay, someone was like, I recognize those eyebrows. This guy's being kind of sus. I don't know what's happening there. Yeah, they were searching in Atlanta. Taliophobia got him arrested. The guy saw his eyebrows and were like, those are too powerful.
And conducted aviation canvasses. And our detectives also went door to door, interviewing potential witnesses and doing the good old-fashioned police work that our investigators are famous for. This combination of old school detective work and new age technology is what led to this result today. And we must also acknowledge the instrumental role the media and the public played in this case. The images that we shared with the public were spread far and wide, and the tips we received led to the recovery of crucial evidence. We should never underestimate the power of the public to be our eyes and our ears in these investigations. This is the third time in 3 weeks that a member of the public has seen something and said something and done something that led to a high-profile arrest. The triple stabbing homicide in Manhattan, the gunpoint robberies in Queens during which an NYPD officer was shot, and now this. Now, the case will continue through the criminal justice process. And while we are proud of today's accomplishment, we must, of course, remember that a family is in mourning. I want to again extend my sympathies to Brian's family, his co-workers, and all who knew him. Finally, I want to thank the women and men of the NYPD, especially our Detective Bureau personnel, with a strong assist from our intelligence analysts. We also thank the SAC of the FBI's Criminal Investigative Division, Leslie Rodriguez-Bekshies. And I want to commend the staff of the Manhattan DA's office, and especially DA Alvin Bragg. He has been working with us 24/7 on this case, and I am incredibly grateful for his partnership. I'll now pass it along to our great Chief of Detectives, Joe Kenny, who will provide additional information. Chief.
Thank you, Commissioner. Good afternoon. As the Commissioner stated earlier, a male was taken into...
I think it's pretty funny what they're like, the NYPD was working tirelessly around the clock. Meanwhile, this is what the NYPD actually was doing, okay? Look, hold on. They're like, this is taken away from my valuable Candy Crush time. It's really up, making me go on a little walk, dude. Look at this pic of them diving in a Central Park pond. Random guy in a rural Pennsylvania sees suspect in a public restaurant, calls the cops. NYPD diver comes out of Central Park pond 275 miles away and solemnly removes his snorkel. We did it, boys. Yeah, tax dollars hard at work, baby. It's so ridiculous. But of course, you know, don't let these guys, don't let the truth stop you from creating this narrative that we did a fantastic job and we deserve $700 billion, please.
Custody today in Altoona, Pennsylvania this morning. He has been identified as Luigi Nicholas Mangione. He's a male, 26 years old. He was born and raised in Maryland. We know he has ties to San Francisco, California, and his last known address was Honolulu, Hawaii. He has no prior arrest history in New York. Members of the NYPD Detective Bureau are currently traveling to Pennsylvania with members of the Manhattan District Attorney's Office to interview this subject. This case was brought to a successful conclusion based on the coordinated effort between numerous NYPD units, including the Intelligence and Counterterrorism.
Yeah. Felix says, wow, I can't believe the shooter was an attractive and courageous buffoon with beliefs that were all over the place. Not, what is this, your first day in America? Yeah, I mean, it is the most expected thing. Listen, America is the land of mass shootings and gun violence, okay? This is the number one thing that we do. People have no consistent, clearly defined political. What he posted off screen first? Wait, what? No, there's no way this is actual. If you see this, I'm already under arrest. Luigi Mangione. Okay, dude. No, this is a meme, isn't it? This is a meme, I suspect. I don't think this is a real. I don't think this is a real account, dude. Let's look at the activity of it first. Joined January 20th, 2024. One video, 198 subscribers. Yeah, this is like nothing on it. No, this is yeah. He's posted up with with Starbucks on the image too. I mean, not Starbucks, McDonald's on the image. No shot. Sorry to all the leftist writing reader shooter fanfics where he's super woke. No, it doesn't matter. This is something that I was trying to explain. The reception of the broad reception of this otherwise violent act, okay, did not have to be directed by someone who is a card-carrying communist or something like that. Okay? It doesn't matter. What matters is that this issue is uniparty. People from all different backgrounds, people from different age groups. The Debras and the Barbaras on Facebook were celebrating this action. Ben Shapiro's viewers in the comment section were celebrating this action. Because the reality of the matter is, it doesn't matter. Unless you are literally one of the richest motherfuckers out there, you are never going to be sheltered from the lecherous nature of healthcare profiteers. It's impossible, virtually impossible, not to be impacted in a negative fashion by the for-profit healthcare insurance industry in this country. That's why it doesn't matter what his political background is. Okay?
Bureau, our federal partners at the FBI, the Manhattan District Attorney's Office, and of course, members of the Altoona Police Department in Pennsylvania. On Thursday, one day after this crime was committed, the NYPD released a photo of the shooter in this case. This picture was obtained by the NYPD during one of their extensive video canvasses. We took that photograph and we asked for the public's help in identifying this subject, and the public responded. Hundreds of tips began to pour into our hotline. Each tip was investigated thoroughly, and we began to release additional photographs as they came into our possession.
Yeah, here, look.
The NYPD provided these photos to numerous...
Yeah, the NYPD, we did such a good job. Yeah, by the way, the CEO shooter cousin is Nino Mangione, super conservative Republican member of the Maryland House of Delegates. Here's a photo from Nino's campaign website. Luigi appears to be in the back left with a checkered shirt. Where is he? Oh, there he is. Boop. Computer, enhance. Ridiculous accent. He's faking it. I agree. Italians finally getting someone better to celebrate than Christopher Columbus. Yeah, apparently he had a 2-page manifesto as well, which we'll cover in a second. What we know about the suspect arrested in the killing of the CEO of United Healthcare, a 26-year-old Ivy League graduate from Maryland, was arrested at McDonald's for the killing of Brian Thompson. The suspect is Luigi Mangione. Thompson's murder of a Midtown Manhattan street in broad daylight shocked many Americans, but also sparked a torrent of outrage aimed at the U.S. profit-driven healthcare industry. This is something that I think people need to examine and need to understand. This doesn't happen in America, where someone very clearly in broad daylight does a crime, and that Americans that are normally so geared towards punishing every criminal, no matter what their motivation is, no matter what that criminal did, turn around and go, hold on, let's take a step back and let's really think about who the villain and who the victim is, okay? That is truly unique. Americans love law and order. They are positively Hitlerian when it comes to that sort of shit. And this was the one instance where I was like, damn, everyone, regardless of their political allegiances, regardless of their age, regardless of their culture, have been so very clearly over by healthcare by for-profit healthcare companies that they just literally champion this guy's a hero.
Numerous media outlets, local, national, and international outlets released the photo via television, print, social media, and online content. Luckily, a citizen in Pennsylvania recognized our subject and called local law enforcement. Members of the Altoona Police Department responded to the call, and based on their investigation, they notified the NYPD. This investigation is still active and ongoing. Thank you very much.
I had a couple questions about the document that he was found in possession with. Can you go a little bit more in depth about those motivations that you mentioned? Was that CEO specifically named in that document? Was there anything more about him wanting to go after others? And also in that document, was there any indication that explains as how the level of detail that he went into killing him? Like, is there anything?
Like I said, that document is currently in the possession of the Altoona Police Department as part of their investigation. But just from briefly speaking with them, we don't think that there's any specific threats to other people mentioned in that document. But it does seem that he has some ill will toward corporate America.
Over here, sir.
MJ?
Chief, was the suspect wearing a mask at the time he was spotted in the McDonald's? And also, criminal cases often have a linchpin. Can you point to a single linchpin that helped crack this case?
There's numerous linchpins in this case, in the fact that we've recovered an enormous amount of forensic evidence, an enormous amount of video, and once again, with your help and the public's help. So I really couldn't put it on one thing, but if I had to, it would be the release of that photograph from the media.
You said he had a passport on him. Do you believe he was trying to flee the country? And also, are you still looking for any evidence in Central Park in regards to the bike?
We had divers in the water yesterday that came up negative results. The passport, we don't believe that he was planning on doing any traveling at this time. We don't think at this point in our investigation, we don't think he was trying to flee the country.
The person at the McDonald's, were they buying food? What were they doing at that exact moment?
He was an employee at the McDonald's.
Right. But what was the suspect doing?
He was sitting there eating.
Will the suspect be brought back to New York and charged here? And when?
We're going to have to work that out with the Manhattan District Attorney's Office in Altoona, Pennsylvania. He's going to be facing gun charges there. And at some point, we'll work out through extradition to bring him back to New York to face charges here, working with the Manhattan District Attorney's Office.
Anita from the New York Post. I was just hoping to get more details on the capture itself. Did he put up a fight? Did he say anything to cops? And we've also reported that he published online anti-health care industry rantings. Can you share with us some of the services that he posted on?
We're still working through his social media. We're going to do a complete scrub of that. Preliminarily, like I said, he seems that he has some ill will toward corporate America, but that will all come out as part of our investigation. We're not done here. We're still going to be putting this together. We're still going to be working very hard to bring this to a successful conclusion.
And the capture itself, did he put up a fight? Did he say anything to police?
I don't have that information.
Oh, sorry. Can you elaborate on how he got there, the path he took from Port Authority and on the George Washington Bridge to Altoona, PA? Same thing.
This just happened this morning. We'll be backtracking his steps from New York to Altoona, Pennsylvania.
I was going to ask if we knew anything, if he took a bus to Philadelphia first and then somehow got to Altoona. But
We're still working on that. We're still working through that.
Britain. Is there any indication that
the
anybody
McDonald's
else
employee
was
that
helping him
snitched
from the inside, as far as tracking the CEO's movements?
Once again,
classic. I knew it. Maybe that was the McDonald's that Trump went to a PA McDonald's too, bro. I knew it. That guy. You know what? I'm gonna QRT that. That's a banger tweet right there. Thanks for the hat trick. Thanks for the hat tip. Okay, hold on. Is that the right term? Hat tip? Is it hat trick? No, hat tip, right? I don't know. I've identified the alley-oop. Hat trick means you scored? Yeah, I mean, the assist. Why didn't bro dye his hair or shave his head? Dude, I don't know, man. Why was he running around with the gun? I know what hat trick is. You claim to be a socialist and you extract surplus labor. Funny jokes from chat. How do you sleep at night? I know. That's going to be the next big thing. That's going to be my next big cancellation. HasanAbi steals from his hard-working, his working-class fans. He steals his jokes. He steals his memes. Unacceptable. All right, let's finish this off.
We're still working this investigation very hard. It's not at its conclusion yet. That could come out during our investigation, but as of right now, we have no indication that that took place.
Chief, did he have any weapons or anything like that with him when he was arrested?
He was in possession of a ghost gun that had the capability of firing a 9mm round and a suppressor.
Oh, it was a ghost gun. Oh, he made it. Oh, he's such a nerd, dude. Jesus Christ, this guy is such a stem cell. It's crazy.
Get into a little bit about the technical aspects of the investigation. I know you deployed an unprecedented amount of technology. You also...
hat tip is correct, by the way. It is homage. Like, you say hat tip to be like, I got it, like a layup, an alley-oop. So I wasn't wrong for using that term.
Activated the Sentry program through Intel. Can you talk about how that is going to play into actually building the case as far as cell phone and all of the other technical aspects of what you've done?
In this case, it really came down to technology was the use of drones in Central Park, and really comes down to the video canvas that we did. We used every source of video that we could collect, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours from hundreds of sources, and that helped bring this to where we are right now.
The gun is it believed to be the gun you used in the shooting? And there was some talk that it was a veterinarian type gun. Is that accurate?
No, as of right now, the information we're getting from Altoona is that the gun appears to be a ghost gun. May have been made on a 3D printer. The capability of firing a 9mm round. Obviously, that will come out during our ballistics testing.
Oliver?
Yeah, Oliver Barnes from the Financial Times. Do you have any indication like how long this handwritten, is it a handwritten manifesto that you found on the suspect? And then also...
So Republican shooters are 1 for 3 this year? Yes, they are 1 for 3. Friend activity, Luigi Mangione, B2B featuring Tinashe, Charlie XCX. Brat, and it's completely different. Oh man, he was all over the Brat Summer vibes, it seems. He was blasting Brat Summer. It's kind of funny because like this is, as someone also pointed out in the chat, like this is not the normal profile of this like, you know, weirdo shut-in that wants to make a name for themselves by like doing an either high profile assassination or just like the regular thing that Americans normally do, which is like shoot up a school, right? Like this is very clearly a motivated individual. Like there is a harm that was done to him, it seems, that Americans immediately recognized as well. And he took direct action. And so it is like it's a he doesn't fit like the profile of the normal shut-in guy experiencing like, you know, a mental health care episode or something like that, which is why there are going to be in the upcoming days so many people that come forward to be like, I know him, I grew up with him, I went on a date with him, he's a really chill guy, you know what I mean? Like regardless of his like indecipherable politics, I think many of you, especially in this community, don't understand that like the average American has, what do I always say? The median voter has political opinions that are inherently contradictory to one another. Okay. That's why so many people, even on like the QAnon side, will be like, I hate for-profit insurance, and that's why I'm voting for the Republican Party to deregulate healthcare. It's like, that doesn't make any sense, but that's American politics, you know? That's how it is. Mangione YouTube channel video posted an hour ago is his real account. I don't know if it is. His Twitter had people looking for him, indicating he might have gone off the deep end mentally. Yeah, I hate the concept of ghost guns, but it makes this story much cooler. The whole thing is like a big cyberpunk vibes. No, it actually turns this into a Shinzo Abe doohickey situation, but except because in the United States of America, you can just like make your own gun. You know, he ended up having a ghost gun rather than a Shinzo Abe doohickey. You know what I mean? In America, you don't have to make a doohickey. You could just make a gun, like a real straight up gun.
Whether or not he put it online at all?
Don't know if it's online. As of right now, it's a handwritten 3-page document.
Chief, does he have ties to that area, and was he someone who you knew by name before his arrest?
We believe he may have attended college in Pennsylvania, but like I said earlier, he has ties to Maryland and California and Hawaii.
And you knew him by name before today? Was his name on your radar?
Excuse me?
Was his name on your radar? Was he someone who you had been looking into before his arrest?
No, we did not have his name prior to today.
Right. Okay. Does he have any prior arrests? I know there were none for New York City, but is there any prior arrests anywhere else in the country?
We have not come across any arrests in the country.
Chief, hi, how are you? On two things. On the ghost gun, is it something you're going to be looking into to see if he made it himself and can he make that himself, or would he have to buy the gun the way it was?
No, once again, that'll be part of our investigation as we follow up.
I mean, obviously he's going to face murder charges, but is there any chance that he could face any other charges because he was targeting the CEO and because of his writings and other things that we're now finding on him? Federal charges or
that determination will be made by Alvin Bragg.
I mean, listen, all I'm saying is my man had no prior charges, okay? No prior charges, no capacity to reoffend. It seems like this is a one and done, a real crime of passion, okay? What do you mean? Like, anti-CEO being considered a part of the hate crime statute is something that you would expect from America, honestly. Like, we should put CEOs in a protected class of their own. People of means, people of wealth, POWs, you know? This is anti-CEO action, and CEOs should be classified as a protected category, protected class. Rich people across the board should be classified as a protected category. I feel like we will inevitably get there if things get even more dramatic and things escalate even harder. I fear that we will inevitably get there. But before we get there, we'll probably make cops into a protected class of their own. There has been some Republican initiatives in the past that do that. So, and it has been successful in certain places. The real POCs are no longer people of color, but it's people of class and not the working class. People of capital. POC. People of capital.
Yes, what connections does he have in Pennsylvania that you know of? Are they in Altoona specifically?
We believe he attended college in Pennsylvania.
Does he know anybody in Pennsylvania?
Wouldn't be able to tell you that.
All right, we're going to
Shut the fuck up. Are you trying to get me banned from Twitch? Yes.
What you talk about the manifesto having said things against corporations, but specifically United Healthcare, and do you believe that Mangione acted alone?
We believe at this point, our investigation is leaning toward he was acting alone. So, like I stated earlier, we're still working through the investigation. We're not stopping today. And as far as the manifesto, like I said, I don't have the complete details of that. It's in the possession of the Altoona Police Department.
We're going to shift to
Good job, Chief. Commissioner. Chief Maggi.
Yeah, get back up there.
"26-year-old Luigi Mangione. A nationwide manhunt has been underway since Thompson was shot and killed outside a New York City hotel on Wednesday. Now police are saying they're questioning Mangione in Altoona, Pennsylvania, saying, among other things, he was carrying
New York City, the Altoona of America.
fake IDs, a written document, and a gun similar to the one used in the assassination-style killing. I want to bring in ABC senior investigative correspondent Aaron Katursky, covering the story for us from the very beginning.
Oh, they found his valedictorian speech, bro.
Well set. Congratulations. Thank you.
Watch that manifesto end up being some Pulitzer Prize level critique of the American healthcare system. I doubt it. I don't think this guy is. I mean, he is definitely a big reader, but given his STEM background, I highly doubt it. And given his political associations, I highly doubt that he is a great writer.
Headmaster Smythe, Mr. Hubeck, members of the Board of Trustees, family and students, good afternoon. Thank you all for being here to celebrate Gilman's 116th Founders Day. I'm honored to be asked how they would describe the class of 2016. Many of the students characterized our class as inventive, in both imagination and initiative. At the same time, several teachers reminded me of our class's commitment to Gilman and its traditions. I came to realize that both views are correct. The class of 2016 is truly defined by its inventive, pioneering mentality that accompanies a strong commitment to Gilman tradition.
HasanAbi has, there's someone who, oh my God, the CEO shooter is getting extradited from Altoona. This is State College, PA, with New York State cops and PA State Police. Okay, guys, don't get into trouble. Like, you know what I mean? Calm down. Scaring me a little bit. You know, go home. All right?
Throughout its time here at Gilman, the class of 2016 has been coming up with new ideas.
And he's being framed. I was chilling with him on Wednesday. Yeah, I think so too. They found a handsome man with bushy eyebrows, and they were like, this is the guy who did it.
Challenging the world around it. Our selling of Chick-fil-A during lunch, arguably the staple of our class.
Wait, what? Can't be class of 26 is too young? Wait, what? No, he had a master's. Oh, you found the video.
Provides a great example. In our sophomore year, when brainstorming ways to fundraise, we didn't just settle for the usual methods of selling spirit shirts and Christmas trees. In addition to this, we did what seemed impossible given the...
Yeah, he's 2016. He's 26 years old now. This is him delivering his valedictorian speech in 2016, which tracks with his age.
Scheduled the school day and began shuttling dozens of Chick-fil-A sandwiches to Gilman.
This is his high school graduation, chat.
Soon, we were selling over 100 Chick-fil-A sandwiches each day, in what became likely one of the most successful class fundraisers in Gilman's history. But our ability to come up with new ideas didn't start then. I've noticed it as long as I've been here, even in my very first year as a sixth grader. If any of you have ever been on Gilman's campus before school starts, you would have noticed that every morning, rain or shine, the turf is filled with middle school students playing soccer.
Oh my God, it's so boring. Okay, all right, I'm not going to watch this. I'm not going to watch this whole speech. All right, let's get back to some more interesting stuff, okay? No, he is not a incel. This doesn't mean that he's an incel chatter. Luigi Mangione, hot damn, are you single? You make us engineers have hope, says Pen Crushes. May 1st, 2019. He says, despite all my best efforts, yup, still single, okay? And I don't think that is, I don't think that that's indicative that he was an incel. Luigi fixed 300 UI bugs for Civilization 6, by the way. He was a UI programming intern at Firaxis Games. Civ 6 team fixed over 300 UI bugs, 25% of UI bug count using LUA language, Jira software, and per first version control system. Work with a 10-person Scrum team in agile environment. This is from his LinkedIn. A real hero for all the Sid Meier Civilization heads out there. Okay, remember who the true heroes of society are. Okay. Remember that. What was the Malcolm X quote? Newspapers will have you thinking that your friends are your enemies. If you're not careful, the newspapers will have you hating the people who are being oppressed and loving the people who are doing the oppressing. Just something to remember. If Biden really wanted to get spicy, he would pardon this guy. Unfortunately, he is not. I don't think that the jurisdiction here is federal. I think that the jurisdiction here is going to be a New York State court. So there's nothing that Joe Biden can do. If he was boycotting McDonald's, he wouldn't have gotten caught. Remember this? Hey, okay, Sean. The real person who can save him is Kathy Hochul. And Kathy Hochul already, Lolo is representing him. This is not a drill. My trial director from Suffolk County. Let's do it, Luigi. 25 plus year experience between both of us, Luigi. Want to defend this guy with me? Wait, for real? If Lolo is able to represent him, this would be the most amazing. This would be incredible. He could do it. He has the experience. He needs Jayoma. Jayoma does not represent people in New York. I will go in person. What a timeline. I am so on board with Lull overruled. I'm so on board with my lawyer representing this man. This would be fantastic. Look at his lawyer dog. This man is going to jail. Why have we had not one but two weird centrist assassins this year? Because that's just America. Okay. The very fact that his politics are all over the place is the most American thing. Okay. Anyway, CNN reports that a 2-page document from Luigi Mangione was found, including the lines, which includes the lines, these parasites had it coming. I do apologize for any strife and trauma, but it had to be done. 56,000 likes from Pop Base. Okay. Now, all I'm going to say is This manifesto, if it comes out in its entirety, it will rip through. Okay. Also, it seems like he's apologetic, which is very important, especially at a time when no one really sees the need to apologize anymore. You know? I mean, that shows growth. That shows courage. That shows awareness. Your streams have prepared Lolo for this exact situation. He would literally have to defend a murder. I mean, Lolo could defend a murder, and I think he would do a great job at it. Manifesto releases December 11th. No, I don't believe that. That YouTube account I don't trust, chatters. I don't trust that YouTube account at all.